The Boundary Park Alert System is sponsored by Pendle New Tech, a family-run Lancashire business you can rely on for everything fire safety related, including supply and installation, maintenance, testing, certification, alarms, risk assessments, like I said, anything fire safety related. But what do I know? Visit pendlenutech.com and they'll sort you right out. Check the show notes for more information. This is a test of the Boundary Park Alert System. Hello and welcome to the Boundary Park Alert System podcast with me, Matt Dean. I'm joined as my co-host this week by Adam Keeley. Hi, Adam.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. Very well.
Good.
And it is on Christmas family duty. It is the time of year for all that kind of thing, family visits and all that kind of stuff. And it's Sunday morning, so it's prime family time. So, but you have very graciously, despite all that, made time to help me out this morning. So I appreciate that, Adam. Thanks very much, mate.
Yeah, no problem. Anything when we're winning, I'm more than happy to assist.
Yeah, exactly. It's much easier to talk about, isn't it, on a Sunday morning after a good win. We have a guest as usual lined up. So Adam, you will do the honours in the fan guest situation. So please press on.
Yeah, I think it's a debutante
for the podcast. Absolutely,
for the pod. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, when was your first game, fan guest?
First game was 1992-93, Tottenham at home in the Premier
Do you remember
League.
the score?
I think it's 2-1 to us, I think, from memory.
Started with a win, so there's always hope there, isn't there?
Absolutely.
Very good. So, who was your first favourite player from that sort of time then?
First favourite player was Andy Barlow. I ended up going to school with his younger brother, playing cricket with his younger brother at primary school. So I sort of deviated that way towards watching him, and he became my first favourite player.
Happy days. What is your favourite ever away game? Obviously taking Wembley out if you managed to make that.
I have never been to an Oldham Athletic away game. I've been in Australia 42 years, and yeah, I guess every game I go to is an away game, I suppose. But no, I've never had the privilege of going to one. But I want to do that before I curl up my toes.
Fair enough. I suppose obviously with the technology now, it's miles easier to watch the games and be involved in it than it was years ago. So
absolutely,
probably a bit better for you now.
Did Matt tell you that I was a Man U fan at one stage?
We need to edit that out.
No.
Edit that out.
It's terrible, isn't it?
We'll edit that out. Yeah, absolutely.
Fair enough.
Well, it's all right. It's a conversion in the right direction. I mean, we're always happy to take them from
other clubs.
From
Absolutely.
them.
And finally, give us a little known or unknown fact about yourself.
A little known or unknown fact. Back in the 2004-2005 season, and I think the 2006-2007 season, there was a squad player with my name. He didn't play any games for Oldham, but he was sort of on the squad. So every time I get a shirt, I always make sure I put that number on.
Centre half, was he? Centre back?
I'm not sure. I think it was only 180 centimeters. So possibly that's reasonably tall, isn't it? So it's 6 foot, isn't it? So possibly, yeah. But he didn't play any senior games anyway, unfortunately.
Okay, so fan guest, who are you?
My name is Chris Leva, formerly of Oldham, now living in Melbourne, Australia.
For 42 years.
Indeed.
So what are you now, about 43?
Yeah, I love to say I was. A bit on the wrong side of 50, put it that way.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you've definitely got the Aussie accent, and you listeners might recognise your voice from the Latics Football Phone-In because you're calling quite often on there, don't you?
I do.
When you're driving to work?
I'm usually in the car, so this is a new environment for me.
Yeah, well, it's safer. You can concentrate on the questions and the discussion rather than traffic lights and all the.
And I can't get lost, can I?
No, you can't get lost. So, welcome to the show, Chris. Nice to have you on the podcast. It's 11:30 in the morning here. It's 10:30 in the evening down under. So, you've had to wait a little bit longer, I suppose, in a way. Latics won yesterday at home, which is the first time since the Bromley game in the league. Is that right, Adam? I didn't do any research, but I'm doing it off memory. Have we only won once at home all season in the league? We beat Northampton in the league, didn't we, in the Cup?
In the Cup, Bromley. I think that might be it. No doubt someone will come down and say that we're wrong, but
we're wrong, and like, you knew you were doing a podcast, why didn't you prepare and all that? But why? Yeah, sod that. So it's anyway. The thing is, and we know this, that over the last few seasons, our home record has been poor. It started off. I mean, it didn't start off. I don't think you could ever describe. Well, not for a long time describe Boundary Park as a fortress, but under Kewell, that season when we scored all those goals, Adam, that was, push the boundary sort of heyday, if you like, for want of a better word. That was wasn't that our record defeats at home season, I think, under Kewell, I believe. Yeah,
it was one of those where the stats are quite wayward because I think Kewell had quite a high percentage win. However, he had quite a lot of losses as well. There was nothing in the middle, really, was there? We either went all out to score, out to score, and then left ourselves wide open at the back.
Yeah, and I think that we're sort of like we're on that journey, hopefully, of seeing Latics become stronger at home. But it certainly hasn't been something that has kicked in yet, and it has been frustrating. I think early on in the season, our form at home was good. Our performances were good. We were creating lots of chances. We looked like we were going to win games, but we weren't able to convert those chances into goals and into victory. But yesterday, against our rivals, I think it's fair to say that two clubs of similar stature, one club on the outskirts of Manchester, one club on the outskirts of Liverpool, if you like, or certainly within the radius, coming together, big crowd, good following from Tranmere. It was an occasion. I was excited before kickoff yesterday. Were you there yesterday, Adam?
I was, mate. Yeah.
And you obviously watched it, Chris. So
yeah, I missed the first 15 minutes of it. I was still in bed, but I watched most of it.
I don't think you missed much in the first 15 minutes, did you, Adam? But how did you feel, Adam, going into the game? Because when I got in the ground yesterday, it was kind of like it was a good crowd. Like I'd been in the fan bar to pick up something, and I was just excited. I just felt good. I felt like this is good. This is what it's all about. Saturday before Christmas, big crowd, local rivals. Yeah, we're gonna get a win here. I was pretty excited, to be honest. I enjoyed it. I had a good feeling in my tummy. How did you feel?
I was confident on the basis that Mellon Senior, when he wants to be up for a game, and the one-off games, he's always all over it, and we always end up putting a result in. Tranmere away last season, when it means something to him, he seems to go up on another level. And, I went into it confident, not obviously thinking we'd be as comfortable as we were, but yeah, it was nice to have decent rivals back and, a good away turnout as well. But no, it was a good day all around, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the biggest, I'd say it was the biggest game of the season so far in terms of the obviously the Mellon connection, Tranmere, rivals, probably the biggest crowd. It was a lot riding on it because we were 2 points behind them in the table. So it gave us that opportunity to close the gap on them and Grimsby, who were playing on Boxing Day. And yeah, I just felt good about it. How did it come across on the telly, Chris?
Well, when I woke up at 2:15 after too many beers at a golf function, I didn't want to check the score. I was thinking, we don't usually start well, and I was looking at the formation. And I think, did we play a 4-1-3-2 at the start? Was that right?
Yeah,
That's what I saw on the BBC. So I thought when I saw it after about 16, 17 minutes, it was 0-0. I was well chuffed. But the first thing I saw was the Tranmere forward hitting the post. So I was thinking, oh, has this been happening for 15 minutes? No, it came across. I mean, I think we played better in the second half, but it came across as we were playing a little bit too much long balls in the first half. But it was a game it was full of talking points, wasn't it? It was full of different things to talk about, and it was quite intense, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I think let's have a look. Let's have a talk about some of the things that happened. I think one of them that for me the significant part was when Stevens got injured. I think that's the kind of like the real part when the game sort of changed. I think he went with the 4-1-3-2, which I think is a decent enough formation, but it's quite narrow. And because I'm not well. We can discuss it. I think Stevens was really putting himself about. He covers a lot of ground. He gets stuck in. He throws himself into things, and then he's got injured. It's not his fault. It looks hopefully it's nothing too serious. But what Mellon did then when we got when he went off injured is he decided to change the shape, didn't he? And I think he needed to because they were playing three at the back, and then they were playing a 3-4-1-2, I think. And they had their lads pushing on, didn't they, on the wings. And they were giving us a bit of problem to get a bit of an issue out wide, weren't they? So Mellon changed it and went with a 5 across the middle to counter that. We've brought Caprice on. Some people around us were like, "Oh, what are you bringing Caprice on for?" Like, normally Mellon doesn't like for like. So people say he's got Hammond on the bench and all this kind of stuff. You know, the kind of stuff you're talking about in play. But he went for it to change the formation. And I'm pretty sure that Caprice's first touch was that cross.
Yeah, I think it was.
And it was absolutely pinpoint, wasn't it, for Mellon's head? And it was a really, really good goal. And that was, that was fantastic, wasn't it?
We've missed that from Caprice, haven't we? We've missed it from Caprice in the last couple of weeks where he's not had that burst of energy or pace to beat a man like he did last season. And I think it has taken him a while to get over that injury, whether we're starting to see the old Caprice back. But superb, the assist for the first, the assist for the second.
Yeah, he put the ball in the box,
He was just like a bit of a man possessed when he come on, and fair play, the balls into the box were quality yesterday. We put some really threatening balls in, which we haven't been doing for a while, so Mellon's...
That header from Mellon's is...
Yeah. Sorry. No, I was just going to say, Mellon feeds off balls like that, doesn't he? Balls into the box where, he can have a shot off, and it just goes to show that if you put in the decent delivery in, we're going to be all right with him up front.
And didn't he finish it well, didn't he? It's just an amazing finish.
Yeah, it was a belted header.
Like a bullet header, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it's good to see our players get past our forwards and do those kind of crosses, because that's where we can create problems. It's good to see.
Yeah, it was a quality ball. He hit it first time. It was a good little layoff. I think from Ghana, was it? I think who laid it off to Caprice. Can't quite remember. It's a long way from the Rochdale Road end, and I wasn't paying attention on the highlights this morning. But it was, again, Caprice is a former Tranmere player, isn't he? So he has that extra little bit of extra bite in his belly when it comes to it. But brilliant goal. And I think up until that point, it was a little bit cagey. It wasn't we hadn't found our feet. We weren't knocking it around particularly well, but we were in the game, and then we went ahead, and then obviously we were like, oh, we're ahead. We tend to do well when we go ahead. So let's just keep it nice and tight up until half time. Then we give away a silly free kick on the edge of the area.
It was a shocker by Ghana, that wasn't it?
Yeah, which was needless. And then, I mean, I was critical of Hudson at half time. Where we are, we're right behind the goal in the Rochdale Road end. And he set his wall up with, I think, 4 men in his wall. Then he had a little bit of a gap for him to look through, and then Woods on the edge of it. And he was stood very, very to one side, to the right of his goal. And he was basically just like saying, go on then. Hit it in that top left-hand corner. I'll never get there. Now, 9 times out of 10, maybe 19 times out of 20, I don't know, they go over the bar or whatever. You know, they don't go in, but the lad, to be fair to him, hit it really well, and it went right in the top corner. It looked to me like Hudson was just sort of gambling on him hitting it over, and he was too far away. I thought if he'd just stood in the middle of his goal, he'd have saved it. But anyway, what do I know about goalkeeping? Not very much. But that was my take yesterday. Like you say, if Garner doesn't give the foul away, there's nothing for him to defend, and they put it away, and you're thinking, oh. You can't help but be down. But at half time, I put my tweet out. In my tweet, was like, or in something I posted, it was like, it sets it up nicely this now for an exciting second half, and it was, wasn't it? The second half was really good.
It was good. It was funny with Garner just before he gave away that free kick. He was creating havoc, wasn't he, around the place? He was lucky not to get a yellow card, which I think he. Did he get a yellow card for that foul?
He did get a yellow, yeah.
So he's lucky. And the commentators on Latics player was saying, "Oh, I'll get him off. But in a way, he sort of, while he made a stupid decision to bring that man down just outside the box, he was trying to lift the team a little bit, because we did look a little bit flat even after the goal. But no, it was. It was good to go in at 1-1, and I was quite surprised actually that he came out in the second half. Garner, it was a lot of people saying maybe take him off.
You could see the first half was a lot more direct from us, wasn't it? We were trying to get the ball upfield quickly and get bodies then further upfield. But I think when you look at the change that they made second half, we had our wing backs further forward, pressing further forward, and we were attacking rather than sitting back. Because Mellon can be criticised sometimes because he likes to play the 5 rather than the 3 and a 5. But no, it looked really attacking, which meant that we were playing higher and we had more chance to put balls into the box. And like I said before, the quality was so much better.
In that first half, Adam, when Caprice came on, he went out wide. Obviously, like his first involvement was the goal, in the cross. But then in that first half, we did seem to sort of sit back, didn't we, with that 5? It was deeper in that first half. And then in the second half, like you said, he sort of he pushed it up. But scoring virtually straight after the kickoff is just the dream in it. I mean, just to get that lead back, it was brilliant, and that was a really well taken goal, wasn't it, from Mellon? It was a good ball in from Caprice again. But again, the kind of balls that we were getting in the box were like that was whipped in with a bit of pace. It wasn't a brilliant ball by Caprice, but the way it bounced in the box, they didn't deal with it, and it fell to Mellon to finish. But it was something that he could attack. He's facing the right way when the ball gets to him, and he gets a shot off. So just that difference. Do you remember earlier on in the season, a lot of the balls that seemed to be going into the box, if they weren't coming from deep, were being lofted, weren't they, from the wings of it? And it was just, it's a thankless task against 6'8" National League, League 2 defenders. A little bit of PTSD there, but Adam, I had a question for you. What I wanted to ask you specifically, but I can't remember what it was now. You feel free to make a point of your choice.
No, it was just nice seeing us play 10 yards further forward in the second half, and not worrying about the defensive side and thinking a bit more about the attack. Whether that was because we've seen the vulnerabilities in Tranmere's back line, or whether Mellon just wanted to go for it. I'm hoping it was the latter, but I think we've got to have that mentality going forward now. And obviously, I know that you'll put his interview on later on, but he says in that, we've sorted the back line out where we're quite solid at the back. We need to push on now and create a lot more and have more chances and score more goals. So hopefully, in the second half of the season, we'll see a bit more of that. But Saturday's anything to go by. We've got half a chance, haven't we?
I thought that maybe when we went 1 up, obviously he made the change prior to us going 1 up. But then I did have a bit of a negative feeling. I thought when I said like he seemed to have the back 5, I thought he doesn't fancy Tranmere scoring against us, and he's going to try and hold on to a 1-0 lead. And I thought, oh God, that's I'm not into that idea particularly. But then they scored from a set piece. So, and then they couldn't break us down for the rest of the game. So I think but it's just too risky, especially at just a 1-0 lead. You're right. You might hold on, and then they might get a set piece in the last minute and score a free kick. They might get a penalty. They might get anything can happen, and then you've drawn the game because you've not been bold and gone on and got the goals that you need. So maybe in a way, the goal that they scored just before half time actually worked in our favour insofar as Mellon then had to push on and get that second goal. Whether he would have done, the second and third goal, whether he would have done, been quite so attacking, had we gone in 1-0, we'll never know. But it doesn't matter because we won the game. But the question I was going to, or the point I was going to make was about Joe Garner. He's an absolute menace, innit? He was well up for it yesterday, and he was kind of like sort of like living on the edge a little bit. But he was well up for it. He was winding up the Tranmere players no end at both ends of the pitch, all over the pitch, and he just makes a massive difference when he's in the game. He's just a quality footballer. He's a quality footballer at the end of his career, but he is a quality footballer. And I think the last time, Mickey Mellon Jr. scored 2 hat-tricks this season, and Joe Garner's been playing alongside him both times. Now that's not to rule out the fact that when he got his third, it was from some brilliant play from Fondop, and we'll come on to that. But Garner makes a big difference, Adam, doesn't he, when he's on the pitch, especially upside Michael Mellon.
He's clever, but one thing I did see in the first half, I think the referee had his card marked early doors. There was a foul right by the main stand, and Garner was rolling around, and as soon as he gave the free kick, he jumped back up again and ran off. And I think straight away the referee was like, you've had me there. So I think after that he struggled to get a lot of decisions in that game, and that's what obviously frustrated the fans quite a lot. But you look at it in the second half as well, we got hardly anything. I mean, Drummond was literally rugby tackled to the floor on numerous occasions and got nothing. So
he was, yeah.
How did the ref come across on the telly, Chris?
Extremely average, right? Extremely average. Yeah, I think Garner there was a couple of free kicks in the first half he should have had, or at least one, and then he did get that free kick, and I think the ref, Adam, I think you're right, he did sort of realise he'd been hoodwinked, and he didn't seem to give us much, did he? He didn't seem to give us much at all. But just on Garner though, his job's not clearing boxes and not clearing boxes. His job isn't to be tackling people outside the 18-yard box, is it? There should be someone else doing that. But I think at that point he was highly strung. He was seeing red mist, and I guess push came to shove, and he gave away that free kick. Well, that's not his role, is it?
No, he shouldn't. There's no need for him to be there. Didn't he tackle from behind as well? I think didn't he? So it was
didn't quite see that one. Yeah,
it plays in front of him at the time. He didn't need to make the tackle. It was daft. But look, players do things, make mistakes. Like I said, I think the goal was completely unavoidable from the foul. Like I say, I thought the keeper maybe should have done better. But we're talking here about two of our best performers. When Hudson's been brilliant, so I'm not being critical of him. I just obviously think his positioning could have been better. But and Garner has been fantastic when he's on the pitch. He really does make a difference. But yeah, I went fishing to wind some Tranmere fans up on TikTok on the Latics page, Oldham fan media page. Said that Latics did really well to with 10 men to beat the 11 men of Tranmere plus the rest. But I had some of them then coming into the comments going, "What are you joking? Like the ref was completely biased towards you," which he obviously wasn't. But I think when you've got a referee that both sets of fans feel was against them, you've got a shit ref. So it wasn't a great performance from the referee yesterday, which leads us to, we've mentioned Fondop's brilliant strike. He did really, really, I love it when that's the Fondop I like to see, when he's feeling confident, he's feeling bold, he gets it on his left foot, smashes it against the post. Brilliant follow-up from Mellon, took it really well because it was difficult, it was bouncing, he just controlled it with the side of his foot, put it away. 3-1, hat-trick for Mellon in front of the Rochdale Road end, absolutely fantastic. But then Mike Fondop got sent off. Any ideas? Because I've watched it back and he does not seem to He doesn't seem to do anything to warrant a red card physically. Whether he said something, I don't know. But the guy, I think it's the Tranmere captain who's talking to him, actually looks sort of surprised and a bit apologetic when he gets sent off. He's like, what? He looks confused. So does anybody have anything definitive on why Mike Fondop got sent off?
Well, watching it on TV, you could see there was a bit of a coming together, and the Tranmere guy goes down. I think Fondop wins the ball and maybe even passes it, or he's blown for a free kick. But he gets up after probably 5 or 6 seconds. He doesn't go to Fondop and say, what's all that about? It's just there seemed to be nothing happening. And then a couple of players going around, standing around the ref, and I don't know. I guess it must be the linesman who said something in the referee's ear or something. He's just showing the red. It was just surprising. It was just surprising to the commentators. It was just surprising for the people watching. It was really quite weird.
I don't know. It just went quiet, didn't it, in the stadium? Everyone was like, there wasn't even as much anger as you would expect. It was just kind of like confusion. Everyone just went quiet.
Everyone was surprised, weren't they? They were really surprised. And I think even the players on the pitch were a bit confused because obviously having watched, there's 2 videos now going online. One from a fan sat in the main stand, and you can see the referee talking to the linesman around the red card. There's no engagement with Fondop, so it's definitely not a foul and abusive. It's definitely around the elbow. But there's another clip, I think it's Kev Williams who's put it online, and you see Fondop's almost trying to like hold up, but Smith's trying to grab hold of him. So he's like, his arms are all over trying to get rid of it. And Smith puts his head down towards his elbow. You can see him going from stood up to head down for him. It's almost like he's made that issue himself, and it looks it's never a red card in a month of Sundays from what we can see, but it's a bit poor from Smith if he has manipulated that as it looks.
Yeah, I hope the club appeal it, because it's one of those where it should be appealable, because otherwise it's just a needless ban for Fondop, really. That there was no need to happen, and it's a shame, because I think that with his contribution, that he looked up for it. Garner had gone off. Fantastic round of applause for Garner, well deserved. Fondop comes on. He's got a chance to contribute. I think we could have gone on and scored another goal. I think we could have beaten them. I think we could have beaten them much more convincingly if we'd have still been able to be on the front foot yesterday. Obviously, the fact that he went off, we still could have scored again against them. Then they certainly didn't really look like scoring. So I think we were definitely good value for the 3 points.
Pet had 2 big chances, didn't he?
Yes.
The keeper pulled off a wonderful save for the first one, and then Smith, who had the altercation with Fondop, everyone thought it was a handball from the Joe Royal stand, but it was, as we've seen the video back, it's a brilliant header.
Well, is it really? Okay.
Yeah, in real time, I thought he'd got his head on it, because I thought, wow, how did he manage to do that? And then you sent that to me this morning, Adam, so a header. It's kind of like inverted commas. He throws his body and allows the ball to smash him in the head. Doesn't it? It's very brave from him. It's very brave
John Terry-esque.
Yeah, he just kind of just launches himself, and there's no real control of it. I think it sort of sits him on the side of the head or the side of the face or something. He did brilliantly, because it was going in. Yeah. There's no doubt about that. And the one you mentioned with the keeper saving it, Mellon did really well. I've sort of questioned Mellon on his strength a little bit sometimes, but he did really well. He was up against their number 3, and he did really, really well. Pulled it across for Pet. Pet should score that, though. He's got to put it to the side of the keeper. He smashes it right at the keeper, who does save it brilliantly. He tips it over, but he had a lot of goal to aim for. And I think as player of Pet's ability, he probably should have put it away. But, you're running up towards the Rochdale Road and you got a goal there. You just think, right, I'm just going to smash this, get it on target, a bit more composure. And I think he puts it away. But look, that would have just been gravy, wouldn't it? 4-1, potentially 5-1, 3-1 at home against Tranmere. I tweeted it out. That was the most satisfying result since the 1st of June. I generally enjoyed the whole game. The whole game from start to finish, even though the first half wasn't very pretty in a lot of sections of it. I enjoyed it.
we looked good value for the win all the way through. I don't think, other than the last 15 minutes where it was backs against the walls, other than that, I think we were very, very comfortable all the way through. And even then, for the last 15, I didn't feel like we were under any real pressure because their quality just wasn't there.
No.
But just going back to Mellon Jr., he looked so hungry yesterday. He looked aggressive in his play. He looked like he really wanted it. And that's the version of the player that I think we all want to see on a regular basis. There's frustration. Obviously, he's 21 years old, I think, isn't he? So you're going to get that inconsistency sometimes, but you can see the qualities there. You can see that, he knows what to do when he gets into the box. So we've got to look after him. He's a young lad that, he's still learning. Yeah, he's not our player, but we need to support him. So we've just got to keep looking after him and know that there is going to be the odd bad game, but you can see on days like today in Northampton and last week at Crawley, he has got that quality in him.
100%. But you've got to play to his strengths, haven't you? You've got to give him what he needs as a striker, and what he needs is a sight of goal with the ball coming at him or in a good position to get shots away and get headers on target and things like that. The long balls to Michael Mellon over the top, for him to be jumping up and heading, it's just a waste of time. And so we've got to play to his strengths. There's no point having a player of that quality up front if you're not going to play to his strengths. We are lucky that we've got him, and that has been a frustration. But 2 hat-tricks in the first half of the season, I mean, that's brilliant. And look, against
both perfect as well, weren't they?
Well, that I'm not sure of the first set one, but that at least today is definitely
second one was, yeah.
Yeah, and I loved him stood at the Tranmere fans pointing at his name as well, giving him a bit of that, giving him a bit of the old Mellon stick there. That I was loving that. And look, he's go on.
Sorry, Mike, go on.
No, go on. No, it's fine.
I was just going to say, there was a couple of times yesterday where the ball was knocked over the top for Mellon to run onto. And he was aggressive with his running and beat their man to get on top of the ball and create an opportunity. And one of them was for Pet. And that's what we want to see from him. We want to see that aggressive running into the channels if the ball is over the top for him. But also when he's in the box as a live wire. So, he's going to get better. And I think we have got a real good player there.
I mean, days like yesterday are always like, I was just what I was going to say before was, he scored his hat-trick against Northampton, a League One side, and Tranmere, a mid-table League Two side. So, bread and butter in the league sort of thing. So it's not like he scored his hat-tricks in the FA Cup first round against Hemel Hempstead or anything like that. It's decent opposition, and I don't know. I can't remember what I was going to say. I'm going to talk. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put Mickey Mellon's interview on, and it's 12 minutes long here. So I think we've got the full thing from the club and from probably there was some other questions from BBC Manchester and whatnot. So buckle up. We'll have a listen to this, and then we'll have a chat about what Mickey's thoughts of the game were yesterday with the win over Tranmere.
Mickey, a well-earned win.
Yeah, we had to work really, really hard for it. Which we knew that we would have to do. And then when we got down to 10 men, you've seen the togetherness of the group in order to try and get us over the line, which is lovely to see. It's great to see, but that's everything you need to know about a group of players when you see that type of fight and battle. So no, a really, really important one for us.
I was going to ask you, what was the key today? Was it that togetherness you mentioned?
No, I think it was my son scoring the hat-trick. I think that would be right up there. They're a very together group. I don't think that can ever be in question. You're in football a long time, and you know when you've got a good dressing room. And I certainly know that I've got a really, really good dressing room. And I'm not just saying that, but I've said that all the time. We worked really hard to put that dressing room together because when they show that togetherness like they showed today to try and get results, we have at the Rubbery Green recently, or we've shot ourselves in the foot. We have always acknowledged that and owned that. But today, the qualities were there for everybody to see.
Obviously took the lead, but after conceding so late in the first half, what was the message at half-time?
Just keep going, really. I don't really want to. I'm not criticising. I'm just saying what I want this Oldham team to become. I didn't think we played enough in the first half. I thought that we, when we did win the ball back, or we did get opportunities to go on the ball, I thought that we could have been better with that first pass, or retained the ball that wee bit better. And when we came out the second half, I thought that we really started to knock it around really well, and started to take a lot of control right up until Mike was sending off. I thought that we were really in control with the football. I thought we were always in control without the football. I thought that we worked hard, and the defence and the midfield guys, and it worked really, really hard to make sure that Matt didn't have an awful lot to do. But it was a really good performance.
Scoring so early in the second half was crucial as well, wasn't it?
Yes, but it's always good to get that goal so early to set to reset what the game is. So the game then completely changes, then, doesn't it? You go in front and you're at home. You've taken the lead, so it sets it all back up again for a different type of game. And it was a game that certainly suited our boys up until, like I say, the sending off.
Michael scored a hat-trick, as you mentioned, comes on the back of a fine goal last weekend as well. How would you sum up the qualities we've seen from him today? I'm
really proud of him, I really am. I'm really pleased that we have him here as our player. It's great to see a young striker scoring goals. He's scored left foot, right foot and a header, and deserves a whole load of credit for that. But he's also put a shift in for the boys as well. And he just keeps his focus. He's a very, very focused lad. I've said that before. Some things have gone against him in terms of maybe some of the supporters' reactions some of the times, and forget that he's maybe quite young, but he just gets on with it and has remained very, very focused, and he'll continue to keep doing his job and go and try and scoring goals, and that's what I was really pleased about today. He just gets on with it. He's a cool customer, and he scored 3 terrific goals today.
3 terrific goals and 2 crosses from Jake Caprice helped him. We've obviously seen Jake do that plenty of times, haven't we? But it's great to have that in our armoury. Yeah,
if you get that quality into the box, we've got strikers that will go and the end of things, and that's what I've said. I've said it hasn't quite the chain in terms of winning the ball back, being good with the next pass, showing me quality, get the ball into the box, showing me quality and aggression to go and get the end of it. It's kind of broke down at certain places. And it's even broke down in certain places where we have done all that, got the ball into the box and missed some brilliant chances. But today, we could have had a couple more as well, and we should have had a penalty. I've never seen a more stonewall penalty in my life. It was actually the best save of the game. It was a terrific save. And how you don't see that, I think everything knows, but I'm not going to get into trouble for that. No way, but I'm on behalf of the football club. I'm choosing my words very carefully here, but I'm letting you know, I know that's not good enough. It's not good enough, and it's really disappointing. But my boys dug in for a long time with 10 men and got a really big 3 points for themselves.
Did you see the red card yourself, or were you told?
Do you know what? I'm not going to play the old I was dead far away from it, and I haven't seen a repeat of it. I don't like doing that. I like to answer your questions straight. But I go with my gut, and I was shocked. I actually thought, what's happening there? I thought, is it because he's not moved back from the ball? Because he was kind of doing this, and I thought, is he warning him that he's not moving away from the ball? Because I never seen anything. I seen Joe Garner getting ragdolled all day, by the way, and then I seen Kai Drummond getting ragdolled all day and didn't get a single foul. And then from one, I just thought, I don't know, I really didn't know where it came from. And I actually asked Joe, who'd come over that time, I said, what's he booked him for there? And he went, he sent him off. And I went, for? So I don't know. So I don't know is the answer to that, but there was a hell of a lot that I didn't know all day. But I'm just pleased that we were able to get a result and override that.
And just finally, we spoke yesterday about the busy run coming up, 5 fixtures in just over 3 weeks, I think it is. This is obviously the perfect start, isn't it?
It is, yeah, but we've got a few injuries. I think I've got one with a broken collarbone. It's going up for a scan now, but it doesn't look good. Got a few more injuries, as you see, the boys that had to come off. So going into that spell, you want to try and stay clear of injuries. But I'm hoping that I might get a few back next week. But whatever we do, we won't whinge and moan, we'll just get on it.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you all.
We're the fire experts, fire safety experts at Pendle New Tech. We train fire marshals, fire safety marshals at Pendle New Tech. Pendle New Tech have fire experts across the UK covering all your local and national needs. With over 100 years experience in the fire safety industry, you know that you can trust Pendle New Tech. Right, enough of that now.
I think coming into the game that we've drawn too many games and haven't won enough. And I'll be the first to say that we have got to a stage now where we've been difficult to beat against everybody that we play against. But we need to take the next stage now, and that's turn a lot of these draws into victories to try and climb up this division. We certainly aren't winning enough. But like I said, we're not losing them. But if we can just turn a lot of the draws into victories, then things will become very, very different. But we're fighting, and we're giving it all we have, and we know what we have to do to like I say, turn the draws into victories.
And goal scoring sometimes has been talked about this season in terms of lack of goals, but not today. And it's your boy that's provided you.
Yeah, listen, people have spoken about goal scorers since I came to Oldham. We've never been heavy goal scorers for reasons I think I'll keep to myself. But we're really pleased with today. Really pleased with today, and we showed a lot of qualities that was needed today to get a massive victory in a really tough game, and I'm pleased with it.
You touched on it as well. You created lots of chances. Is there maybe a little bit of frustration? Perhaps in the second half, it wasn't more than 3. Tom Petts had one tipped over the bar. Michael's had another one gone close as well.
Yeah, I think. Listen, if we're going to be brutally critical, which just won 3-1, boys get a hat-trick, so Eaton's mum would have a go at me for that. We could have scored more, but I think that's been the story of the season. I think if you believe in XG, which is something that wasn't invented by me, we are in the top sort of 5 or 6 of goals that should have been scored in XG. So we know that we've got to finish more clinical. We've got to take these chances because they're high level XG chances, and we just haven't done enough of that. And we like I say, we own that. We understand that. Got to get better at that, and that's the reason why we haven't won more games. But we ain't losing games, and we're in the fight in most games, pretty much every game. So we've got a good, solid group of players that are fighting hard.
Jack Stevens went off with an injury. You mentioned collarbone. It's a blow, isn't it? Because he's just got himself fit again. That's
a huge blow because lost Conlon as well, haven't we? Who's a really influential guy for us. And to lose him when he's come back, he looks so good. We can just pray that, I don't know, that maybe something goes away, but it isn't at the minute looking good. Which is a huge blow to him, first and foremost, because he's such an exciting talent. And then to us, because we're going to lose that talent now. Just when we thought that we were going to, it was starting to get to look like the reason why we brought him to this football club.
The red card, you've mentioned it. Was it something that you can review and maybe think about an appeal?
Yeah, I think so. I think we can look at it. Somebody said it was foul on the use of language, but Michael's a born-again Christian. I think it goes against everything that Michael's about. So I think so somebody said that to me, and then I don't know, I haven't seen it. I always go with my gut, and I looked at it and I thought there's been worse than that today, and we haven't had a foul for it. That's what my instinct is. I might be wrong, because I haven't genuinely had a look at it, but when I seen it, I was shocked as everybody else. about the stadium, which you usually can gauge that sort of reaction from everybody, and I think everybody was pretty shocked.
Just very quickly, I want to touch on the games over the festive period. In terms of the suspension potentially and the injuries, does that leave you a little bit stretched maybe in terms of selection for next time?
Can I be honest? I could kill this. I'm just going to go and enjoy tonight. It's hard, football's hard, and when you get victories, you've got to go and enjoy them. We have already taken care of what we need to do in the next game. We have a good scouting network here, and we know what we have to do, and we're already prepared for that. And the boys have been again Monday, and we'll get them prepared and ready to go again. But for tonight, it's about enjoying it and make sure that the supporters enjoy it, the owners enjoy it, everybody enjoys it, and then we'll move on to the next thing. Let's not wish for days away. Let's enjoy this evening.
Just finally from me, in terms of preparation, what do you do over the Christmas period? Do the players come in over Christmas?
Yeah, they'll be in. We'll be in because we're professionals, and that's what you do, and we'll prepare as professionals should do, and make sure that we're as ready as we need to be for important games at the football club.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mickey Mellon there on the outcome from yesterday. A few notes to be taken. I know Adam is particularly curious about one thing that was said, which we'll bring up in a second. But he did mention work rate and the spirit. Chris, you made a point about Ogle putting a good shift in. He's had a tough season this season. Ogle, he was pretty much an ever present last season. He's not a bit like Chris Sutton. His opportunities have come and gone, but he did put a good shift in. He did have a good game. What was that, Adam?
Will Sutton.
What did I say? Chris Sutton.
Chris Sutton.
I would have liked him playing for us, mate.
Yeah, but probably not at right.
BBC pundit.
No, probably not.
yeah. Sorry, Will Sutton. Yeah, well, yeah, he did put a good shift in. Is that just a bit of Aussie bias there, Chris? Is that what that is?
It could be. It could be. He linked up with Caprice for the second goal, didn't he? But
Yeah.
I just think it. I think, yeah. I mean, even I was thinking, and it may still be the case, that National League may be where he's at, and he may not be able to cut it in the in League Two. But I think after his injury, he just seems to be going the right track anyway. And there was no howling errors last night that I saw. And I'm sure there's a bit of bias there, but I watch him a little bit closer than maybe some of the others. But I just thought he did everything right, didn't make too many mistakes, and he was set up the goal a little bit with Caprice down the right there. So he did well. He did well, and I think on that point, people are saying about he was playing in the National League North, wasn't he? And then he came into the National League. Now he's in the League Two. It does take a bit of time for players to get used to another level above and stuff, and playing every week helps. And he's not been able to do that. So I thought yesterday, to a man, they all worked really hard. I thought Pet in the midfield deserved a mention because I think he did a lot. He covered a lot of ground. He's not the quickest, but he tries, and I think that's part. I mean, when you think about it, because he isn't the quickest, he has to work harder to get where he needs to be quick enough, and he will make those bursting runs and forward to get into the box. And like we said before, he could have had a couple of goals, and also just doing the closing down and the hard work. A lot of the work that Conlon would have been doing, he mentioned it in the interviews today. Conlon covered a lot of ground and closed things down and just, made things happen off the ball. And that links into what he was saying about the spirit in the dressing room. And that's crucial. And I think when, there's been a lot of talk recently about Mellon and the contract and blah, 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 and some of the performances. But what we're talking about here is future-proofing Latics, and getting Latics ready to build. We're still in the formation process of taking us from where we've been in the National League, re-establishing ourselves in the Football League, which we haven't done yet. We're in the first season of doing that. But getting the right characters into the dressing room is crucial. He mentioned about Christmas and preparations and stuff. It's not that long ago we had the old Alex Reid Christmas Day thing and all that kind of stuff. So getting the footballers that are in the squad and are in the team, they're not all going to be exciting talents like Stevens and Mellon, but they all have to be part of the squad and part of
their attitude, their collective attitude is really important. And I think a lot of that work that Mellon's doing is probably not something that fans pay a lot of attention to, like we do in games, where we'll pick on mistakes and we'll pick on bits of brilliance and stuff like that. But it's that 24/7, 365 building a squad and then picking the right characters to come into it. And I think on the injury to Stevens, I think that's what makes it so disappointing. He's obviously the right character. He's got the right work rate. He's got talent in abundance, but he's so unlucky. A broken it did look like where he was coming off. He's broke his collarbone. The referee didn't even give a free kick again. And
try to get him off the pitch.
To get him off the pitch. It's like what happened with Ollie Hammond when he dislocated his shoulder at Harrogate. You know, it's really, really disappointing. I'm gutted for Stevens. Hopefully it's not that, but if that's the case, he's going to be out for a while. So they're the things.
He played on for a bit, didn't he?
What is he keeping it secret? He did. Yeah, he played on for a bit. Until the ball went out of play. But Adam, what's he keeping secret about the strikers?
I don't know whether it's January coming up or he's trying to squeeze a bit more out of his transfer kitty, but his comments when he says, "Since I've been here, we've not been heavy goal scorers for reasons I will keep to myself."
Yeah,
I just found really strange considering it's his squad. So unless he's purely saying I'm not being given the finances to go out and bring in a quality striker or whatever, I don't know. But coming up to January, is he doing that thing like he did with Mellon, saying, "Oh, we're not going to be able to get a striker in now," and then all of a sudden the budget was stretched a little bit more to bring that striker in? I don't know, but I just thought it was quite a peculiar thing to say.
Well, it was intriguing. Wasn't it? It was intriguing, Chris, wasn't it? What do you think he might have meant by it?
I don't know. Maybe he was. I don't know what the media is like over there with the Oldham Cron and that sort of stuff, but maybe he was having a go at people sort of saying his methods are a bit dour and his formations are a bit defensive. I don't know, but it'd be nice to believe that there might be a forward coming in the January window. But the chat that you guys have been having previous weeks, seemingly it's probably not going to happen, is it?
I don't know. I mean, he had James Norwood in his squad, who is a renowned goal scorer, particularly at National League 2 level. So, but he was beset by injuries. The strikers that he's brought in himself, Joe Quigley, it's not really a goal machine, but he's done all right, really. I suppose he's got for the amount of minutes he spent on the pitch and the goals he scored, he's not done too badly. Fondop last season scored, was leading scorer, scored over 20 goals. So I'm not quite sure what he means, but I mean, I would love to. This was the point I was going to make before, Adam, when I said I'd forgotten what it was. After a good, convincing performance and win like that, you look at the team and you think, in this division, there's no reason why we couldn't mount a playoff challenge. Mm-hmm. We know we're too good to go down because there's teams that are really struggling, can't buy a win, and we've got quality in the squad, and we can put in good performances. So. But the frustration lies where you put in a performance like that. We don't know what's going to happen at Grimsby. We've got a tough run of games coming up, but just having a little bit more in the in the squad to fire us to help us get those goals, whether it's somebody to create them from midfield or just somebody else off the to pair up with Mellon up front.
It's going to be interesting going into Boxing Day, isn't it?
Yeah,
we look at the formations and we went into the Accrington game and completely changed formation and went with Quigley up front on his own. That was after we beat Newport 3-0, wasn't it? So it's going to be interesting. I'd like to think that he'll stick with the majority of the side that started and go with a 3-5-2, give us a bit more of a threat, because Grimsby, we should be beating Grimsby. They've not won in the league since the 18th of October.
Wow. So just on the team for Grimsby, what can we do regarding Fondop's red card? Can we do something before that game, or is that not likely to happen?
We can appeal it, can't we? Yeah.
I think the appeal
will it be heard before that?
I think so, yeah, because otherwise you're penalised, aren't you? So it will have to be before. Hopefully, they'll have some appeals panel in on like Christmas Eve or something dealing with it. I'm sure there's not. It's not the only one, but it definitely needs to be. When you've got everybody going, what was that for? Like there is a question to be answered from the referee. But I guess we know who we'd start on Boxing Day. You'd start with Garner and Mellon up front. You would start with Stevens in behind, but he's definitely not going to be playing. Ollie Hammond is fit again and on the bench, so maybe he could be in that position. I think it would be good to start with the same formation as we started the game with. He could go with the wing backs. He could go three at the back and play. But like we said before, the lads on the left and on the right, Robson and Caprice, have got to push up the pitch, haven't they? They've got to play hard. They've got to commit to that formation.
Second half.
Exactly. And that means that against Grimsby, they've got to go there with the mindset of these lads haven't won a game since the end of October. They've lost the last three, I think. We've got to go at them, pin them back, quiet the crowd down, because it'll be a boisterous enough crowd. Grimsby are they're a well-supported club. We've got to pin them back, and we've got to do what we've got to do: get balls in the box, put them under pressure, and get ahead as early as possible, and try and finish them off, try and kill them off, because their confidence will be rock bottom. The last thing we want is to allow them to play, go there with a real cagey sort of attitude, let their fans get on, all the stuff that we know, all the predictable stuff. So I think off the back of a performance like that yesterday, the question is, will he start the game with the same formation, or will he revert to the Woods in the holding, three in front of him? I don't know. I don't mind either way, as long as it works, I'm not bothered.
I think we just worry about ourselves a bit more.
Yeah,
instead of worrying about what the opposition do. Go in with that 3-5-2.
He did refer to it, Adam, about the scouting, didn't he, and checking them out. So I mean, that it would be negligent to not do that.
Of course.
But so what would you do, Adam? Would you start with the wing? Would you go with the wing backs?
I think as long as we play in their half and not try and play as a 5-3-2, because if we do that, we're always in trouble. We're always inviting the pressure, whereas we're playing in their half. We're expressive. Caprice getting balls into the box. For me, you got to reward players, and there's no consistency if you're not rewarding the players that are doing well. Those players did well yesterday and won the game convincingly. Give them another go. You've got to. We're constantly chopping and changing, and granted, we're going to have to change from the starting lineup because obviously Leake's potentially gone off injured from what he was saying. The broken collarbone, and Daniels looked like he was struggling through that game. He was limping off at half time. I wasn't sure if he was going to come back out. So we obviously have got injuries, but you've got to reward players if we are winning games, because otherwise you just back and forth, aren't you? You've got no consistency, and that's what results in the drop in form.
But we could
team, boys. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go on. No, go on, mate.
Just on the team, he mentioned in the interview we might be getting a couple of players back. I mean, I guess one of them will be Hammond that he didn't play last night. But is there anyone else you can think of that might be coming back from injury?
Hawks is ready soon, because the thing is, this is the thing with the back three. You're playing wing backs. I think asking players to be a wing back is a big ask. Asking them to get up and down. So playing them as wingers essentially. So obviously they're going to have to drop, but you're playing from the halfway line effectively, not playing from the 18-yard box. So you've got Ogle, Month, let's say Daniels. If Daniels is not fit, you can bring in Simu, you can bring in Sutton. So you've got cover at the back there. Then on that left-hand side, you've got Robson and Caprice. Is Robson a winger, or is he a left back? I think he's a left back, not a winger. So you've got Hawks in there. Then I would play Hawks. He's more of a winger, and Caprice. And then I think he'd probably stick with Pett and Payne, and then probably Hammond in the middle, up in behind the two forwards. And I think that if you're playing as with Hawks and Caprice as wingers rather than wing back, no. Oh yeah, that's right, isn't it? Yeah, Woods. Well, oh yeah, because it's a change in formation. So yeah, Woods sits in front. Well, if you're playing with the back three, I think you need somebody to sit in front of the back three, don't you, to act as cover.
I'd keep it the same, mate. Just the legs. Even though Payne's quality is not there at the minute, he gives you that engine. And I think, granted, he's not had the best form, but while we're winning games, don't change it.
Yeah. So that would be Woods, Pett, and Payne across the middle, with whoever he plays out wide. Look, I say you've got. I think what Mellon did do yesterday was he adapted it, like we said, when Stevens went off, he had to, but he rather than going like for like, he changed the formation because Tranmere were getting a bit of joy down the flank, so he needed to stretch the pitch from our point of view, and it made a difference. And Grimsby are there for the taking. There's no question. But then, so were Accrington and so were Crawley. So we need to pick up points on the road, and back-to-back wins would be massive, especially for teams that are, directly in and around us in the table. We've jumped above Tranmere and Grimsby now into 14th. We're on 27 points. We have an opportunity to catch Gillingham, who are in 12th. They've dropped off quite a bit, haven't they? We got an opportunity to overtake Barnet if we win on Boxing Day, and they don't pick up points. So Gillingham have drawn 4 and lost 1 in the last 5. Barnet, who are just above us, have only won 1 in the last 5. So it's all there to climb up the table now. But yeah, I think Grimsby are there for the taking. We've got to convert that into a win. Enough draws on the road, and we're not picked up enough points just in general of late. So it's about time we had a Merry Christmas in football terms for Latics, because it doesn't usually go that way. But I think that counts as a win at Christmas, doesn't it? 20th of December.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I liked about the socials, though? Looking at the socials as I do the morning after, there's no talk about relegation. There's no talk about Mellon being sacked. I mean, we're 10 points ahead of the relegation zone now, aren't we? And about 8 points to the playoffs. So
yeah,
we've got a big chance to make a move.
I'm just looking at the league table now, right? And from 19th Barrow down to Newport in 24th, they haven't got a win between them in the last 5 games. Not one win between them in the last 5 games. Barrow, Shrewsbury, Crawley, Bristol, Harrogate and Newport haven't won 1 in the last 5 games. So, that's, let them crack on being shit and let us keep churning out points. And you know what happens? Teams go on good runs, teams go on bad runs. Teams who look like they were going to be in the mix, like Gillingham, are having a bad run and dropping off. So there's the playoffs are there to be contested right up until the end of the season. I think it just needs to have a little bit of a run. Right, we've already topped an hour, so we need to get onto Latics Mind. Chris, I was going to say this is going to be a tough one for you, mate, because for the vast majority of your life in Australia, you've not been able to really see much of the games at all.
And like the guy you had last week on the pod, my memory isn't great. I walk into the pantry and think, what did I come here for? So we'll give it a go, mate. We'll give it a go.
Yeah, listen, it's fine. I mean, we play Latics Mind for everybody. It's not really just about you. It's for everybody. So what I'm going to encourage you to do under the circumstances, if you don't know the answer, is pass. So that we can give Adam the opportunity to answer the questions. So
fair enough.
Let's do it that way. And let me get my head together and figure out what I need to do.
Or Andy Ritchie, that's normally a solid one, isn't it?
Yeah. Roger Palmer.
Andy Ritchie, yeah.
Yeah, but I think let's put it on Adam. I think that's more fun. If we do that. So if you don't know, say pass, and we'll let Adam answer. He's got his pen. He's got his pen there. He's ready. He's ready to make notes. Right, okay, here we go. Good luck, Chris and Adam.
Thanks, man.
Latics Mind is sponsored by Oldham Athletic Supporters Foundation, investing in the fans, the club and the community. Join today at oasf.co.uk for just £12 a year. OASF, because we're stronger together.
Latics mind.
Which physio replaced Ian Liversidge at the end of his first spell at Latics?
Pass.
Who was Latics' top scorer in the 84-85 season?
Groves? Alan Groves?
It was Mick Quinn. Which striker scored twice in Latics' 4-1 win at Portsmouth in January 1991?
Pass.
Who scored Latics' last league goal at Anfield?
Ooh. Smith?
It was Darren Beckford. Which ground has Latics' 5 results? At which ground have Latics' 5 results been as follows: 1-5, 2-2, 1-1, 0-0, 0-3?
Pass.
Which ground has seen Latics' only 2 visits there end in a 2-0 defeat and a 2-1 win?
Pass.
Who scored Latics' last goal at Hillsborough?
Andy Ritchie.
It was Jermaine Johnson. Which Latics winger also had spells at Blackburn and Bolton?
Jermaine Johnson.
It was Chris Taylor. Who was Latics manager the last time we played in the FA Cup third round? Who was Latics manager the last time we played in the FA Cup third round? That doesn't make sense, does
Harry
it?
Cool.
Oh, last time we played in the FA Cup third round? Yeah, of course it does. Yeah, it was Harry Cool, yeah.
Get in there.
Brilliant.
I've got one.
I was like, surely, when last time we played in the FA Cup, I don't know why that didn't make sense to me then for a second, but it didn't. But you got it right. Yeah, it was against Bournemouth in 2021.
Yeah, I don't remember the game.
I've got not really got much recollection of that either. So, Adam, you making notes there? You got a good few passes. Well done, Chris. You got one right at the end there,
Thanks,
even
man.
despite my confusion, which might have thrown you. So, well done.
Have you heard of the Aussie saying a bum steer?
Yeah, I have heard that. Yeah.
Do you know what it means?
Did it mean like? Is that what you mean for the last question?
No. It's
No.
just that I just remember on the last podcast they I think Andy said, oh yeah, there'll be a few Christmas questions coming up. So I've been studying Christmas Latics.
So yeah, that was a bum steer. Yeah. Well, Andy usually does stuff for the questions. Maybe he changes them around a little bit and mixes them up. I've just read the first ones that come off the list.
You do well, mate. You do well.
So anyway, let's find out if excuse me, if Adam knows which physio replaced Ian Liversidge at the end of his first spell at Latics.
Not a clue. To be honest with you, don't know.
Does the name Alex Moreno mean anything to you?
Absolutely nothing.
Same here.
Yeah.
Now, the striker who scored twice at Portsmouth in a 4-1 win in January 1991, his name will mean something to you, but do you know who he is?
Andy Ritchie?
It was Ian Marshall.
Oh, nice.
Which ground has Latics' 5 last results there been as follows: 1-5, 2-2, 1-1, 0-0, 0-3?
Main Road?
Lost 5-1-2. Liverpool.
No, it was Hillsborough, apparently.
Oh.
Which ground has seen Latics only 2 visits there? So we've only played there twice. We've lost 2-0 and we've won 2-1. Which stadium?
Harrogate.
No,
National League,
it's
probably.
Bolton Wanderers Stadium,
Oh, wow.
which is as was the Reebok. Now apparently it's the Tough Sheet Stadium. Tough Sheet.
Tough shite.
Yeah, the Tough Shite Stadium. And that's it then, because the next two ones he got wrong. So yeah. So did you get none then?
That was correct.
I got one. Oh,
So
sorry.
you got
one, Chris,
one.
yeah.
Did you get any of the others that he got right, Adam?
You know what? That was quite a hard one last week. I think it was 3. But I think he got quite a tough gig there, Chris.
Yeah.
Did you make it harder because we won the Ashes, mate? Is that what you did?
No, because I don't care. I'm not asked. One little bit. So Andy would
That's
be.
why
Maybe Andy
not
did.
on.
Yeah.
It was,
That's why.
well,
Andy's
this
not
is that's yeah. I might have to have an inquiry about that. Is Andy
Thanks, mate.
just avoided it because he knew we had an Aussie cricket supporter coming on? It's feasible. It's feasible. Surely Andy's got more grit than that. He's not going to run away.
He wouldn't do
from
that,
it.
would he? He wouldn't
No,
do that.
no,
He's a
no,
good
no.
man.
He'll be
He
in
seems like a
Harrods
good
doing
man,
his
anyway.
shopping. That's where he'll be.
Yeah, being Harrods, won't he? Yeah, he'll be exactly where
Christmas
he'll
shopping,
be.
getting ready.
Yeah, exactly. Right, Rel, it's much easier to talk for an hour about a 3-1 win against Tranmere
Absolutely.
than it is to talk about a 1-0 win away at Accrington Stanley. So that was much more enjoyable. Like you said, Adam, it was an exciting game. It was. You said it as well, Chris. It was full of incidents, so there was lots to actually talk about in the game. I think I'd like to wish Jack Stevens a speedy recovery. I'm sure he's not listening, but I hope.
Big fan.
I'm sure. But I mean, he's going to be laid up. Maybe he'll catch up on episodes of the podcast. But yeah, it's a real shame that his Leak went off injured. Did he? I didn't realize.
Well, it's just how he went off. Did he go off at half time? And it's just how Mellon was talking in his interview to say that he's had players come off. So whether it was just Stevens or whether Leak as well, but obviously he has had his injury issues himself, hasn't he, Leak? So
yeah. I mean, the Christmas period as well. There's lots of games coming up, so we need our full squad. But yeah, I think we're nearly ready to cap 2025. What a year it's been! But we've still got a couple more games to go. We've got Grimsby and Walsall away before we kick off 2026 Chesterfield at home, which I'm particularly looking forward to. Yeah, I always enjoy playing Chesterfield. So, it's nearly there. It's festive season, lads. I hope you both have a lovely time, whatever it is you do over Christmas. Thanks for joining us on the podcast, Chris. It's been good to talk to you for a bit longer than usual. Thanks for supporting the phone in, and thanks for joining us on the podcast today, mate.
No, thanks for doing it, Matt. It's a pleasure. I just wish I would have picked up on your podcast and your phone in years and years earlier, but just didn't do it. Just haven't done it.
Well, that's just.
It was a very negative listen back in the day.
It was very different. Yeah, it was, wasn't it, Adam? The Boundary Park Alert System is sponsored by Pendle New Tech, a family-run Lancashire business you can rely on for everything fire safety related, including supply and installation, maintenance, testing, certification, alarms, risk assessments. Like I said, anything fire safety related. But what do I know? Visit pendle-nu-tech.com and they'll sort you right out. Check the show notes for more information. Adam, do you ever sort of have a little listen to some of the older episodes just for nostalgic purposes, or have you just drawn a line under that period of our history?
No, you know what? I listened to the very first one, and then a later on one, maybe like after the first season, just to see where we were at, and it was so hard coming up with anything positive because everything was just so bad on the field, wasn't it? And everything was bad off it. Yeah, just to see where we are now. I mean, just standing in the fans bar yesterday, seeing it absolutely rammed, and it's just such a good place to be now. When you look at the attendance yesterday, 8,800. We didn't even have that when we were in League Two. The old League One. Division Two. So to get those numbers now just shows that we are going in the right direction. We're just got to keep together and hopefully it'll click in the new year as it did last year, and we can go on a bit of a run and keep us where we need to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's all overwhelmingly positive. I mean, tis the season to be jolly, apparently, but I think there's plenty of reasons to be jolly when it comes to Latics all year round. And little Wembley is taking shape now. You know, the transformation there. It's just, there's so much to be positive about. There's so much to be grateful for in terms of where we are as a club. And what the most thing, you know, one of the things I'm most proud about in terms of what we did, Adam, with the podcast, and obviously Push the Boundary was a separate thing, but the fact that, you know, we came together and we started, is we've created that little chronicle, and it's not something you're going to want to go back and listen to over and over again, because it was depressing, but it's there now, isn't it? It's there as a historical reference of that whole period of time, and it's nice that we're now reaching a period where we can move into a lot more positive stuff. And I think it's just being the time of year and all like that, I think it's nice to just sort of like acknowledge again the great work that the owners have done at the club, the great work that Mickey Mellon's done, the hard work that the players are putting in. OASF were in the fans bar selling their brilliant sticker album yesterday. The fans are turning up in numbers. Just thanks to everybody for helping make Latics a completely different club than it was this time, you know, 4 or 5 years ago. It's just fantastic.
I just remember the day that we all got told, the foundation lads and Push the Boundary got told in that little meeting that the club was being took over, and like loads of us like tearing up because we didn't think it was going to happen. No, you know, we thought that we were just going to keep on as we were. And you know, I know people just say, oh, we shouldn't be thankful just for being in League Two, but it's progress, isn't it? Little incremental steps, and you know, we've got to be understanding to that fact, and it does cost a lot of money. So, you know, we have got to be, we are thankful for the owners coming in when they did, because if we didn't, we would be a massive, massive shit show.
Well, you'd have been all right, because you'd have got that Phoenix club that you always wanted, wouldn't you?
Apparently, so I couldn't think of anything worse, to be fair. But yeah, that's what was always banding her out.
I know, like Bury starting off again back in, you know, just absolutely, basically starting off on playing fields again. Like, you know, it's just grim. So absolutely fantastic. I hope, really, really hope that we can continue now with a win at Grimsby. I think that's got to be the aim, and I'll take a point at Walsall, and then beat Chesterfield at home on New Year's Day, and that would be a fantastic Christmas. So
good Christmas.
Absolutely. So, to all our listeners, I'm not sure when we'll be back with the pod. I don't think we'll be back now until the new year. I think we'll probably do a post-match podcast after Walsall to catch up on the games against Grimsby and Walsall, and then we'll do a podcast again in the new year after the Chesterfield game. So I'd like to wish all our listeners, all our supporters, all our subscribers, everybody who gets involved, a very Merry Christmas, and thanks for listening. Thanks for getting involved. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, I am absolutely buzzing that Latics have beaten the Bin Dippers from the Wirral, and we can all enjoy a fantastic Christmas without that hanging over our heads. So Merry Christmas, lads, and
have a Christmas, boys. Again.
Have a good Christmas.
Good night.
Cheers, guys. Bye. See you later. Sleep well, Chris.
Hey, Dave, did you know that listeners can now buy us a coffee or any other kind of hot beverage?
Ooh.
What's your favourite hot beverage, Dave?
A macchiato.
And how do you like your macchiato?
Black with lots of milk. Oh.
No cream?
No.
Well, if you want to buy Dave a
macchiato,
then go to buymeacoffee.com/We Are Oldham. I'll just have a Nescafe.
Oh, thank you, listeners.